The paleoclimate record teaches us that rapid climate change is really hard on societies. Climate changes at the end of the Ice Age contributed to megafauna extinctions and forced major changes in human subsistence. Droughts during the Holocene toppled civilizations, and those were natural variations. Societies had no control over them. We're causing changes that are faster and potentially larger than those natural variations. With over 8 billion people to feed and house, many in areas vulnerable to climate change, the implications are staggering. Coastal cities face flooding from sea level rise. Agricultural regions face shifting rainfall and more extreme weather. Water resources are stressed by changing precipitation and glacial melt. Tropical regions could see temperatures exceeding human survivability thresholds for outdoor work during heat waves. Island nations could literally disappear. The humanitarian implications are enormous and unequally distributed. Those who contributed least to causing climate change are often the most vulnerable to its effects. But understanding the problem is the first step toward addressing it. We know more about climate now than ever before. We can see changes happening in real time with satellites and monitoring. We can model future scenarios with increasing accuracy. And we have technologies available that could dramatically reduce emissions if deployed at scale. Solar and wind are now cost competitive with fossil fuels in many places. Electric vehicles are becoming mainstream. Energy storage is improving. Carbon capture is being developed, though not yet proven at the necessary scale. The challenge isn't really technological anymore, it's political, economic, and social. Getting 8 billion people to coordinate on emission reductions, equitably distributing costs and benefits, navigating competing interests, that's the hard part. Climate change is the ultimate tragedy of the commons. Individual actors benefit from burning fossil fuels, but everyone suffers the consequences. Solving it requires collective action at a scale humanity has never achieved. Some people feel despair. The problem seems too big, changes too slow, obstacles too numerous. I get that. But humans have navigated existential challenges before. We survived the Ice Age through adaptation and innovation. We transitioned from hunting megafauna to agriculture, fundamentally transforming our relationship with the planet. We've overcome diseases, expanded lifespans, created technologies that would seem like magic to our ancestors. We're not helpless. We're just facing a problem requiring unprecedented coordination. The 100,000-year cycle will eventually resume, assuming we don't permanently alter it. The orbital mechanics haven't changed. Naturally, Earth would eventually slide back into glacial conditions tens of thousands of years from now. But we're writing a new chapter, one where human activity is a major climate driver, not just a responder. We're affecting the planet on a scale comparable to the astronomical forces that controlled climate for millions of years. No species has ever had this influence. It's both inspiring and terrifying. The cycle reminds us that climate is dynamic, sensitive to forcing, full of feedbacks and tipping points. It's not a stable, unchanging background. It's an active system responding to inputs. For millions of years, those inputs were natural. Now, we're adding a new input, and the system is responding. We are living through a moment unlike any other in Earth's 4.5 billion year history. For the first time, a single species, us, understands the global climate system while simultaneously altering it. It's a strange and heavy realization. We possess knowledge and power that no organism has ever had, and what we choose to do with that power will determine Earth's trajectory for thousands, maybe even millions of years. No press, right? The Ice Age cycles have taught us that life is resilient. Earth has endured dramatic climate changes, and life has always found a way to survive, adapt, and even thrive. It survived the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. It survived ice ages. It will survive this too. But the real question isn't about survival itself. It's whether human civilization as we know it will thrive, or whether we will face massive disruptions that could have been avoided with foresight and decisive action. I started by talking about the mystery of the 100,000-year cycle and how scientists patiently unraveled it. That same scientific community is now warning us about anthropogenic climate change, using the very same methods that revealed the Ice Age cycles to begin with. If we trust the science that explained the past, shouldn't we also trust it when it predicts the future? It's pretty clear that we're pushing the system hard. We will see significant responses, and the window for avoiding the worst outcomes is rapidly closing. The Ice Age taught our ancestors to be adaptable and innovative. That's in our DNA. We can use those traits to navigate the challenge we've created, but we need to act collectively and quickly. The climate system has momentum and time lags. Actions taken today won't show their full effects for decades. But inaction today commits us to changes that will unfold for centuries to come. Every year of delay makes the eventual response harder and more disruptive. So, where does that leave us? We are 11,700 years into an interglacial period that should eventually end. We are armed with an understanding of how climate works, and we are actively changing it faster than natural processes typically do. The 100,000-year cycle that shaped human evolution is being overridden by human activity. We've become a geological force. The only question is whether we use that power wisely or recklessly. The answer determines what kind of planet future generations inherit, and whether they'll view us as ancestors who rose to the challenge or as a cautionary tale of a species that understood the problem but failed to act. The clock is ticking. The cycle that sustained life for millions of years is still operating in the background. But for the first time, it might not matter because, for the first time, one of the species it created has the power to override it. And what we do with that power in the next few decades will determine not just our future, but the future of countless other species sharing this planet with us. The Ice Age is over. The question is, what comes next? And unlike our ancestors who just had to survive the cycle, we have the power to shape it. That's both an incredible responsibility and an incredible opportunity. Time to see what we do with it.